In case I haven't drilled it into your heads enough that it is dismal out here in the dating world, I came across a photo from an account on Instagram called @puberty that really just made me lose any hope that I was going to meet a man in the wild, which is what I'm doing now, considering I'm officially off the apps, now sober for 30 days.
And the source is @puberty?
Yep. This is the illustrious Instagram account @puberty that said that nearly half of young men have never asked out a woman in person. A study by Date Psychology found that 45% of men aged 18 to 25 have never approached a woman for a date. And they say their biggest reason was fear of rejection and social backlash, which, duh. It's kind of like fork found in the kitchen.
Yeah,
it's
but
terrifying,
I'm like, I get that it's terrifying, but that is a very high percentage.
Right, half. Well, it's a high percentage, I think, when you're talking about people our age.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about people Abby's age that have now grown up on the internet and have grown up with dating apps and most of their life is in their hands now on their phone, it does make some sense.
I get the logistics, like, when you're just looking at it black and white. However, if you met a man who has never asked out a woman in person, I feel like that's a huge red flag.
Oh, 100. Well, I don't know if it's a red flag. It's a turnoff for someone like me. Like, I need somebody who's forward.
Like, grow a pair.
And I always respect a guy more, even if I have no intention of going out with him. If he comes up and asks for my number, I have a rule that no matter what, I will give him my phone number. Like, I would rather reject him over text in private than stand there and make a fool out of him in front of the entire bar.
This is the kindest thing you've ever said in your life.
Oh, thank you.
You're so altruistic.
I'm Mother Teresa. But that's also because I'm the type of woman who is sick of not getting approached. So I approach men. Like, y'all have seen me out in the wild. You get me to sniff a little bit of tequila and I'm out approaching a group of like 10 guys out at a bar, because that's how you meet people. Because I just don't understand why if I, as a woman, can get rejected by a man, like, it is so much better to get rejected by a woman. We are so nice 9 times out of 10.
I don't know if that's true.
Really?
Yeah, there are a lot of mean people out there.
Have you been rejected by a woman in a mean way?
So I have never had the confidence to approach a woman that is in a group setting with other women, because I have had friends that have done it that are way more confident than I am. And there are some women that really take a lot of pride in belittling dudes and really being mean.
That can't be the majority.
I wouldn't risk it. I just don't have I wouldn't have had the confidence to risk it.
I'm intrigued too, because so I immediately jumped into the comments because I was, like, what are the men's, what is the women saying? And then one guy says, well, nowadays it's harder since you're titled a creep just by breathing the same air as someone close by that you want to talk to.
That's not untrue. Yeah, I mean,
I feel like that is far and few between. I don't feel like.
Well, I think that in a lot of these cases that, how do I say this in a PC way, but also be honest, that we talked about this when it came to adolescence also. I think men are in a weird spot right now, and young men are in a weird spot right now, that they don't want to come anywhere near sniffing, feeling like they're being perceived as creepy. So they're not exactly sure what their role is anymore. And then when young men talk about it, I feel like a lot of times they are met by women going, oh, welcome to our world for our entire lives. So kind of we're not talking about it in an authentic way.
Yeah, and I do think it's probably very confusing for men, because you do have women, and I'm one of them, who are like, please, can I just exist? I mean, not like they're banging down my door, but you know what I mean? Like, I want to exist in the wild without being approached. Can you just leave me alone and let me be? And there are other women who are like, well, no, I want you to approach me when I'm out and about. That's how you meet people. So as a dude, I have to imagine it is very hard to navigate a situation where you're like, the same thing. Can I approach them? Will they think I'm a creep? Do they want to be left alone? Versus, is this how I meet my future spouse?
I do think the creep argument is a little bit of a cop-out, because I feel like the female equivalent is desperate. You know how many guys have probably thought that I was desperate or thirsty because I approached them and I made the first move? Because guys will say the same thing, like, oh, it's so hot when a girl like knows what she wants. But yet I have been rejected to my face multiple times and even been called, inappropriate names for approaching a guy. Like, I've been there. Like, I feel like I can have this argument because I have put myself in those shoes. And And I feel like it needs to swing in the other direction of not being afraid of this rejection, because women need to get used to being approached in a way that doesn't come off creepy or slimy or skeezy, so that men stop fearing being called a creep, and it'll just be like this beautiful circle of life of people are used to getting approached, and it doesn't come off as like a weird skeezy thing.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as Abby. I find the creepy thing like a cop out, and I feel like then it's like blaming women as to why I don't approach you. It's your fault. And are those instances out there? Probably, but on the whole, it's like we should have common sense. Not everybody does, but we should have common sense. And if you come up and you approach a woman and you muster up the courage and you approach a woman, she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I have a boyfriend," or I'm married, which I have done before. Then you're like, okay, my bad. Well, it was nice to meet you. End of story. Like it literally, maybe I'm just simplifying it too much, but I really feel like it's that easy and it's that simple. Now, if you come up and you're like, "Hey, baby," and like you act like a creep, well, then you're going to get called a creep.
I think you guys are doing a healthy share of woman-splaining this morning, saying that you're not really giving a lot of credibility to guys and this sort of attitude that we don't want to be perceived as creepy, because I'm telling you, as a guy, this is exactly how they feel.
But I also feel like I'm tired of being blamed as that's the reason why you're not approaching, that it's our fault.
I can't tell you which came first, the chicken or the egg in this situation, but I can tell you where we're at.
Well, somebody needs to fry something. Either the chicken or the egg.
Now I'm just hungry.
Here is Ryan.
I'm hungry. We need to eat. The single ladies need to eat.
Hey, Ryan, you have never asked a woman out face to face.
Hey, guys. Yes, that is true.
And why is that?
So, basically, like, I'm in my mid-20s, and, I'm still have never asked a woman out face-to-face. It's always been through social media or dating apps. And, I've had crushes in high school, but I was always too nervous, I guess, to say anything, and I just follow the girls, like, on Instagram, maybe drop a like, and hope they would notice me. And, that never worked, by the way. Then in college, dating apps, were all of a sudden everywhere. So I kind of leaned into that, and it just felt easier to message someone than to risk total humiliation in person of being rejected, So I don't know. I guess rejection online doesn't feel as personal. If someone ghosts me, it's like, whatever. On to the next. But if I were to get turned down in person, it just, I don't know, it feels like a public failure to me.
I wish I could have given myself this advice years and years and years ago. But I mean, when you're talking about going up and saying something to a woman in person, if she does reject you, you're talking about 30 seconds of uncomfortableness in your life, really. That's really it. Unless it like reaches you at some like internal place that really can set you back. I mean, you're talking about 30 to 60 seconds of uncomfortable situation.
Yeah, it's character.
It does. And I can tell you as somebody
right.
who's approached men multiple times, there's like maybe one occasion that sticks with me. Like it sucks in the moment, but typically, I mean, at least for me in these interactions, I'm usually out drinking with friends, and there's usually nicer, more fun memories that override the uncomfortableness. But I just couldn't live with the regret of never putting myself out there if I saw somebody that I thought would be worth talking to.
So, Ryan, can we put you on the spot? Can we give you a Bert Show homework assignment? And that is that over the next couple of days, you have to be out in public and find a woman that, not just anybody, but actually find somebody that you would be interested in going on a date with and ask her out on a date, face to face.
I know I need to just rip the Band-Aid off, instead of putting it off. So I'll say I'll do it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's do this. Let's spend 60 seconds doing this. Women, give him advice. If he's never done it before, give him advice that would give him the best chance of success when approaching a woman.
Drink a lot. No, do not. I'm kidding. I guess
That's a joke, Ryan.
I guess it depends on the environment, but I'm going to assume that maybe you're out at a cocktail bar. I feel like your best chance of success is maybe a weeknight around 6 p.m. and it's a woman and her friend sitting at the bar enjoying a nice glass of wine. The first thing you got to do, suss out the situation, kind of observe, do they look like they're deep entrenched in conversation, or do they look like they're just having a casual chat? If it looks like it's a casual chat, just approach them. acknowledge both of them, because there's nothing worse than when your friend just gets all the attention and you're just sitting there like, hey, I'm just chopped liver. Acknowledge both of the women and just say, hey, notice you from across the bar. You're a beautiful woman. Would love to get to know you sometime. Do you mind giving me your number? Or you can give her your number as well.
So just so I'm clear, telling a woman that you think she's beautiful in the very first time you talk to her is not creepy.
That's an objective statement. It's
Okay.
not like, well, baby, you look so good in that V-neck top. That's creepy. Just saying you're an attractive woman is an objective, almost emotionless statement.
Like coming up being like, I like the way that booty go badonk-a-donk. Yeah, no, that's creepy. But just like Abby just said, it's like, hey, I couldn't help but notice. I think you're so beautiful. Would love to take you out. Blah blah blah. Whatever.
Would be interested in getting to know you sometime, and then she can either shoot you down or not.
All right, Ryan, here's our practice run real quick. You're asking Abby out. This is going to be a little easier than real life because you can't see her, but go ahead. Go for it.
Okay, I'm sitting here.
Oh, we're talking. Hey,
Hey, oh my God.
can you believe that caller that we had on the air?
So crazy. I'm off the apps now.
Yeah.
Hey,
So great.
hey, I just saw you guys from across the bar. How are you guys doing tonight?
We're doing really good. How are you?
I'm good. My name's Ryan. What's your guys' name?
Hi, Ryan. I'm Abby.
And I'm Kristen.
Cool, nice. Are you guys having fun tonight?
We are. We're just catching up, having this delicious Sauvignon Blanc. It's our favorite.
It's so good. Oh, you have to get the ones from New Zealand. They're the best.
They're so zippy.
Very nice. Well, hey, not to be forward or anything, but I just want to let you know, I think you're really pretty, and I was just chilling here at the bar. I thought I would come up and say hey, and I don't know, maybe if you guys want a drink or something, I could get you one after you're done with this.
Kristen, this is where you go, oh my God, thank you so much. And Abby goes, no, and then he says, no, I'm talking to the other one.
In my head, he is definitely not turned towards me. He's turned towards Abby and talking to her. And I'm very excited for my friend.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. Here's the wine list. We love the most expensive one on the list. if it's not,
And we want the 9-ounce pour, not the 6-ounce pour.
yeah, we want the Vufke.
All right, cool. Well, I have a good job, so I'll treat you guys tonight.
Okay, Brian, you're oversharing. I don't need to see your LinkedIn. Just pull out the platy.
No, I need to see your tax records from 2024 and 2023, please.
Yeah, and your social security number.
You know what, Ryan? I don't think when you do this, and I think we should do it, we should try it today.
Yeah.
When you do this, the goal here is to not get the number. That is not the definition of success here for you. The definition of success is just simply doing it. If she says yes, that's nice. If she says no, okay, you can deal with it. But just getting that first one done, man, might lead to the next one and the next one and the next one. So that's what you're going for today, okay?
All right, man. Thank you so much.
All right, let's talk to you tomorrow, okay? You might not be thanking us tomorrow.
We'll see.
All right, bye-bye. Oh boy, what have we done?
Oh, no.
What
Have we just sent him into the lion's den?
What have we done?
The Bert Show.